Let's see what we got. Inside the iconic home built on 200 feet cliff. That's crazy.
Today we are in Sedona, Arizona at honestly the most unique property I have ever seen. The house you see above me was built in 2021 by a local named Glendon Good. It cost him several $1 million and took him several decades to pull off. And one of the many things that makes this place so special is that the only way you can access the house
This shit crazy.
is by taking a 3-minute and 15-second tram ride to the top of the mountain. Glendon bought this property in 1998, and at the time, nobody even thought it was possible to build a house on top of that cliff, but he pulled it off even though he had all the cards stacked against him. And in today's episode, we get to meet Glendon and tour this amazing home together. We're about to take the tram ride to the top, and if you didn't notice, it's a very windy day, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous about that. Plus, I've got about 1,000 questions for Glendon, and I'm gonna try to get as many of those questions as possible answered today. Some of the things I wanna know about, not a whole lot of room on that tram, and the location of this house is way too like this full time for the owner. Glendon is going to share all kinds of
the cranes and the bulldozers and all that shit up there to even make it. Like, that's crazy.
Interesting information with us today, including how much it cost him to build this house, what the construction process looked like, and possibly what I'm most curious about, how in the world he got this tram contraption approved by the city. It's going to be a jam-packed episode. I am still a little bit nervous about that tram ride, but let's do this. So a tram or a gondola like this, like as far as I've ever seen, only exist with typically like a ski lift type of environment.
So in Washington and Oregon, where the company is located, a lot of people use it to go down to their lake, to their ski boat, or down to the beach.
Gotta sit up there having a small talk conversation while you're on the elevator
so that's the
ride.
primary use. And basically, I'm using it backwards. So these are basically rails.
Okay.
But it also meant that there was no impact in the environment, because it only touches 2 points. And you don't have, struts or trusses along the way.
And did you have to make a lot of modifications to this rock in order to fit this?
Only at the top.
Okay, yeah.
We ran into rock there, and I basically spent 4 weeks with a jackhammer.
Yourself?
Yep.
Oh,
who do you get a call to do this stuff?
Just hanging off the side of the cliff right here.
Hanging off.
Oh my gosh.
This nigga said he did it himself.
Well, you did a pretty clean job.
How?
So I knew I wanted to investigate places in Sedona, and I hired an agent, and she took me around and showed me all these houses that I could afford. And I'm like, no, this is not what I'm looking for. And I'm like, okay, just show me raw land. And she would take me around and show me all these kind of buildable lots. I'm like, this is not working for me. There's gotta be, I told her, there's gotta be something cool out there, something interesting, something different that you haven't shown me yet. And her comment was, well, there is this one cliff for sale. And I'm like, well, take me there and show it to me. And she brought me here, and kind of begrudgingly, and she said, look, there's no power here, you can't
That's
build
what it looked like before they
here,
built
it's
anything
almost
on
impossible. There's no water. I'm like, well, so I got in touch, talked to a builder. He says, yeah, I can build here. And talked to an excavator. He said, yeah, I could break that rock up. So I built down below and pulled that off. But every day I'm hiking with my dog up to the top of the cliff. And I'm like, I really want to stay up here. So just above the sculpture on the left, you can see one of my ladders.
On all that, the
And that's
whole
the way
cliff,
I got
the
up
whole
there.
mountain.
Right, because I had to build this thing, to build the tram first was the main big slate. And so I was up and down that ladder every day, month after month.
And you lived down here?
Yeah, so I lived in the other buildings
Okay.
at that time.
And so you would just load a backpack up, climb to the top of the mountain via ladders, and then once you got up there, you just were thinking
and shit like this. This what you do when you get money.
You started getting at it right away?
No.
Petty shit niggas be
It took
buying.
years of planning.
Yeah.
Literally years and years of planning. But once I actually started doing the work, it was getting to the job site, right?
And
the kind of truck I want too.
I mean,
I want a
45
ton
degrees.
truck. I keep saying that.
No
Might get
way.
it top of next year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are we looking at from here then? This is Sedona, this direction?
Sedona's
Beautiful
actually
view.
over that, well, it's kind of over that way, and that's a famous,
Even though this shit
rock
beautiful, I would
formation
never
called
live
Cathedral
here.
Rock.
I would never live
Okay.
in no shit like
pretty
this.
darn
I'm
famous.
like,
There are a bunch of
Too
trails.
paranoid
I'm a
for some
runner,
shit
so
like
I
this.
run all around here.
This shit go to
So do you
crumbling
have
down,
any
go to falling all
architectural
down the cliff.
experience
And
or building
fuck no.
experience
Just to even hike and
before
get up
this
there, I
house?
couldn't do
So
it.
when I first found this property, I actually hired an architect. We worked together for a few months, and I realized he wasn't doing what I wanted him to do. But given that I had many years' experience designing furniture, a house is really very similar. There are just many more layers, and it's a larger thing. So I did my own drawings and plans.
That's another thing. Building it myself, I really wouldn't even trust that. You hear me? Trusting that this bitch gonna be stable enough for me to live at, and I built it. Nah.
Worked with my
Nah.
engineers and did it. Yeah.
Kind of interesting when you explain it like that because it's going to make me look at this house as if we're almost walking through a big piece of furniture.
And it is.
In a way. What would you say was the single most challenging part of that design phase?
What comes to mind is getting the money to actually pull the job off. Because you can put me in a room with a piece of paper and a ruler, and I can figure some stuff out. There were a lot of challenges along the road.
Bet there was.
A lot of things that had to be figured out.
Shit.
But it's amazing what you can do when you really want to do something.
That's a
And
fact.
there were a lot of naysayers along the way.
That's a fact.
And
That's
basically,
powerful.
this is impossible. Even some of my best friends.
That's powerful.
After I got the permits approved. Like, I got the permits.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
How you
Like,
get permits
he's
for
never gonna
that?
Pull this off.
That's what
And
money do.
I had to work
Lawyers.
through that negativity. Basically, that's one reason I don't share my ideas so much anymore. I kind of incubate them, and it helps give birth to them, I found. And just, having the gumption to go for it, to get on the rope, do whatever it takes to make it happen.
Construction workers just don't like paperwork.
They're right. With Connect Team's employee management
Really don't
platform,
want
you
fast
can get
forward
digital.
because I like the information that he's spitting. But nerds get bad. I go to fast forward. They go to talk about nothing.
Oh my gosh.
Because this is sort of what it's all about, being here and enjoying the view.
I wouldn't mind waking
But you
up to
could have
this
built
every
this
day.
house anywhere.
And you live here full time?
For full time, this puppy wakes me up before sunrise every day.
Yeah.
Which is really nice if you got a cup of coffee, and I love being in the kitchen and watching the sun rise. It rises over there, but the way it lights up all these hills and the trees in the morning is amazing.
I read something else that mentioned that you had a pretty early wake up call whenever the Masons were working on this house. Is that right?
I don't know why they start so darn early. But I had to be there ready for them at 5 a.m. And I wanted to work with that crew because that getting out of the ground was super important.
And did you work hand in hand with most of the subcontractors and crews?
I always had something to
Fuck, you
do.
got contractors.
But since I work with
Floating up
metal for a
rocks and
living, I worked with the masons and I was responsible for the steel, making sure that they did their job right. And it was a very sketchy situation because there was no scaffolding. We're on a cliff and they're working there. Their boss was flipped out.
see
So
the
he
vision
bought all
now.
this safety equipment. We had all
see
these
it.
lines all over the place. And the guys after 3 days, they're like, all this safety equipment is really unsafe. And they decided to move all the lines out of their way so that they wouldn't trip and fall. And this is especially good at night. Right now there's a lot of glare, but
So when you used to hike up here every day then, you would get up to this relatively flat mountaintop and you would be
actually I'd get up there, yeah.
okay.
And I had a ladder here.
Okay.
So I could get to this little shelf area. It's a little bit of a shelf in the rocks that became the focal point for where I could build.
Oh my God. So that was a perfect vantage point for you to look down at what would be the future footprint of your house. And then from there, you were able to kind of sketch up what the floor plan.
Exactly, yeah. Basically using
That's
the
crazy.
only somewhat level area.
And how cool that your vantage point from there as you were designing the house ended up being basically the same one that
Exactly.
you're having coffee every morning.
A lot of people thought it was like some rich guy that is just paying gazillions of dollars to have this made. And then once
Tell you
people
what, boy, this
found
shit
out
here,
that it was really,
so fucking
a
good.
guy with a passion who just wanted to build his own home on his own property,
Healthy.
they kind of came around. I had a pretty limited budget, but the entire project cost me about $1.7 million.
Wow.
Oh, that's
including
not
it.
bad.
How much of that was
Engineering.
the tram alone?
The tram wasn't bad. Budget. But the entire project cost me about 1.7 million.
Wow.
1.7 million is not bad compared to you go to LA and try to get a mansion and they charging you fucking $5, $7, $10 million for this plain ass mansion that somebody like, and you could build your own joint for 1.5. And Boosie said the same thing. He was like, all that shit that he doing, all them houses and shit, he only spent about 1.5 to build all them houses on his land and lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's furniture. Everything, you know what I'm saying, was only 1.5, so that ain't bad.
Including
that
everything.
ain't bad.
How much of that was
Nigga
the
said
tram
including
alone?
everything.
Tram wasn't
1.5.
bad. That was like
That's love.
102,000.
Tram alone.
Tram wasn't bad. That was like 102,000.
Wow.
Yeah, to make it possible. I did build the island. It's concrete. It's a wolf stove. So I built this stuff because it was a very special sort of element of the house. And kitchens are so important.
They really are.
We really spend a lot of time in our kitchen. Also, since I
That's a
build
simple
things for a
kitchen, too.
living, a kitchen is really like a workshop.
Yeah.
I see people in these gigantic kitchens and they're like walking from place to place. And my mother was an interior designer. So she taught me early things that make sense. You want these triangles so you're not having to run across.
All right, put
Yeah,
me
So
on game.
everything works. It's really
like to
easy
learn.
to
I
work
love
in
that
this kitchen
knowledge.
and make good food.
So
That
you made
makes
everything
sense,
the
you know
door.
what I'm saying, on why you shouldn't want this big ass kitchen. You trying to cook and your pot's way over there and the stove way over here, then icebox way over. Like, it just,
There's the
it makes
boxes.
sense.
Even.
It makes sense.
I did not make these.
Okay.
I did in my other house, very similar design.
Okay.
And I remembered how hard it was to do, unless you're a shop that just makes cabinets. When I first moved in, we had a lot of parties. Because there were a lot of people who wanted to come over. And
I'm sure.
it's a
So
pretty
everybody
great
had to
place,
come up on that
especially,
crane?
with the outdoor areas.
And gotta
Tried to
leave
make
on
it
the
not
crane?
a gigantic entertainment house, but a really
Imagine you leaving the party fucking 1, 2 o'clock at night. It's dark. You probably leave by yourself, or you and whoever y'all leave and go down the crane, and that bitch gets stuck or fall over, and it's in the middle of the night. Nobody to call, man. This shit crazy.
cool.
So far, it feels that way. It feels like a home that you could definitely live in. And what's the total square footage here?
2150.
Okay.
But obviously the big part is this, amazing view.
It is a beautiful view. Can't lie.
These are nothing that I did.
I'm not spending a night in that bitch. Like,
Oh, you
like
did?
I built these
Airbnb
sliding
shit,
glass
rented
walls.
for the weekend. But
And they are smooth as butter.
I was
Nice
still
job.
scared of
Thanks.
that.
And even the tracks that are recessed in with the tile like this, I love that detail.
I store this here.
What is that?
Here's something I made, I guess, 2008. So I had this lounge chair that I had for a long time, and I'm like, gosh, it sure would be awesome if it had wheels and moved. So I made this.
He's an architect. He like to create shit,
see if
invent shit.
So you steer here.
I would love to meet somebody like
got
that.
that.
And have that type of person on my team, on my side, create and build shit. I don't mind paying them. I just want to know somebody who could do it.
I need to try that.
You wanna try it?
Somebody who could build
Spin it
computers
around
and
for
shit.
you.
I
That's your
want to know
steering.
these like.
Oh, that's your steering. Okay.
That's
And it-
why it's good to go to college. If you go to college, because college ain't good for nothing else. It's good for you run across people like that, motherfucking smart ass people who could build shit, smart ass people who gonna become something in life, and
Sorry.
inventors,
So nothing-
doctors,
Okay.
lawyers, and that's people you
If
need
you
to
go
have on
forward,
your
you'll
side.
go.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to have them people on my team.
All right, that's all I'm gonna do.
Nah, that's
That's
right.
awesome. Oh my gosh, I want
You
one.
can ride that bitch on your patio or
Here's a
your
plan. I'm gonna
mansion
park
that
it
you
over
built
here.
on your fucking
You are
cliff
creative.
that
That's
you
for
own.
sure.
The first time I saw
Should
the
have showed
land,
the
well, when I
houses
got
that's
the land was
downstairs
19,
too, because he got houses that he was living in while he was waiting for this to get built.
but then it wasn't until 2006 that I got serious about trying to figure out a way to build up here. And my initial thoughts were, a prefab, that's already mobile, comes in units. I could have that lifted up. It would have taken a really big crane and another crane to build the really big crane and 3 semi-truckloads of counterweights just to do it. And they would have had to close the road to do it. Anyway, so I went through a lot of process to get to the end result.
But still, how did you get the crane? So you had to get a crane to build a crane to do that? Like,
This
it's
is actually
still only
a door.
1.5? That shit is not bad, bro. 1.5
So I
is
can
not a
open
lot
or
when you
close
got millions.
this area.
I'm saying that
part
as
of
a
the reason
nigga
I
who
did
don't
that
got it,
is
but I will
so I
have
can
it one
control
day.
winds.
Yeah.
And I definitely
there's this-
spend 1.5
sometimes you
on
want
this or
the
on the
flow
shit
of
that
wind.
Boosie did.
To cool you off in the summer, for example.
Of course.
But you
Well, I
feel
just
how it
spent
picked up
1.5
now that we
on it. I'd
opened
rather
it,
spend
right?
1.5
So it
to
was really
build my
protecting
own
us to
shit
be in
than
this
to
enclosed
buy
area without
somebody
the-
else
Made such
shit
a
that
passage.
been living in
It's so
before.
windy now.
Right.
So it really does serve its purpose though in the
And
summertime.
I,
You're
I
right.
knew what I
It's
wanted.
hot up here
I
in the
wanted
summer.
my house to be have a lot of hidden rooms
So the
and
summer
shit.
sun
Like
doesn't
every
go
room
in.
you go into got like another hidden room. That's how I want to
Perfect.
build my shit.
But you can see how
hiding
the
spots
sun is
everywhere.
just streaming in
Real talk.
to the living room, warming it up. And this is passive solar, passive energy, and it really works. It really helps.
And you do have solar on the
And I've
rooftop
active
deck,
solar
too?
on the roof.
So it costs nothing to run this house then.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
Wow. Should we go
That's
up there and
even
look
more
at the solar?
better. Electricity and
Okay,
shit
let's do
cheap.
that.
Okay.
Now,
can
how
all
you
fit
got
in
the
that
water up
elevator?
there when they say they didn't have no water?
It's gonna be even scarier than the tram, I think.
It's a little sketchy. But
Let's take the stairs.
no, you can watch us get in and go up, and
Okay,
then
okay.
you can go up with a camera. Okay. Jump on in.
I'm not nervous at all.
After the big ride.
Yeah.
All right,
nothing.
we'll see you up there. Okay, you coming with us, puppy? All right.
Whoa.
This is fun.
You go with the camera. Dogs
Pretty
just
cool,
following
right?
them everywhere.
It actually wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be.
These are called solar tubes, and they
Okay.
produce a
Look
huge
at
amount of
those
light. So I
jump
basically never need to use lights during the day. It's all lit naturally.
Okay, so this is the top of the mountain right here.
Pretty much stop them out. Yep.
And that ledge that you were talking about behind the kitchen was right about here?
Mm-hmm. Down below there. This is sort of my first year's attempt at a garden area.
Okay.
I'll be
Looks like it's
adding-
doing all right.
You know, the best is my son comes up here with me, and he'll pick his tomatoes and pop them in his mouth, and he just loves it.
It's like candy.
You want one?
Sure, yeah, thanks. That's what I actually used to do as a kid.
Fresh
just-
out the nigga, all right. I was about to say, fresh out the nigga hand, huh?
It's good.
Another morning to savor the crunchy nooks and cranny splendor
Oh,
of a
this is like
Thomas's
the poorest
English muffin.
breakfast? What the
Tom,
fuck?
which is a nook and which is a cranny?
That's a nook, cranny, nook, cranny.
All
I mean, they
right,
should be
looking
teaching me
like
this in school.
Sausage. Is that a biscuit
Huzzah!
cut
A
open?
toast to breakfast.
Are you guys here for the halftime show?
Oh, no. We're here to help
White
people
love
customize
them
and
some
save
bagels,
Liberty
boy.
Mutual.
So that's why the
I'm like,
emu's
what you
here?
put on
Yes.
the bagel? Like cream
And the
cheese.
emu has a name. Only pay for what you need.
Nigga like me, if I get a bagel, throw some butter, some jelly on that bitch. All syrup. All bull.
So you hired someone
Yeah,
with a
with this ass.
helicopter to haul this material and just drop it off up here.
Well, then they drop it very softly.
Yeah.
They bring it down, and then we unhook it.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
So all these spools, super heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And steel beams.
That was handy for everything that was heavier.
So this is the alternate route. But one of the great things about this build is you can drive up in your car and there's not.
I'm still
not
stuck
one-
on the money, cause in my head, nigga be like, bro, you know how much money you gotta have to build something like this? Like I said, I'm assuming you gotta at least be a billionaire. You don't even gotta have 100 million. You could have 10, 15, 20 million and you could do something like this. 1.5, come on, gang. That's
Steps
real
you have to
doable.
take. You can wheel anywhere you want. I have a friend who's in a wheelchair, and I thought about her when I was building this. I'm like, if I can, I'll make it no stairs. So you can roll right in and throughout the house and use the elevator to get between floors. You know, the floor to ceiling of just the rock. So on the one hand, you're looking way off into the distance, and on the one hand, you're looking right very up close. Wow. This bathroom is a pretty great place to just soak it all in.
Rocks take on a color of their own when it's raining up here. I've been up here quite a few times when it's raining and snowing. It's pretty special.
It's really awesome when it's snowing.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes sideways. And then occasionally you're
He must be
like a
friends.
chipmunk will cruise by.
Oh my god. Snowing.
That's
And there
good.
are lights
You're one with nature.
back there, so the whole thing
He the only
kind
house on the
of
block.
glows.
That was a
at night.
smart move. You have views in every direction from this house.
So what about avalanches and shit, or volcanoes, or storms? They don't shake up the landscape and shit? The foundation will never move if some shit shakes?
I had a lot of talks with the fire marshal. One of the very first things I did was went to the fire department and talked to the fire marshal with the plans.
Yeah.
Kind of rough plans. Like, will you let me build on my property? And he said, our primary concern is to be able to save you. It's not really split out the fire, but our fire truck has a 100-foot ladder and it can shoot another 100 feet. So we can put out your fire, and you're gonna have to be sprinklered. If somebody gets injured, for example, on the job, or somebody has a heart attack, we need to be able to get there and be able to get them out.
So they can bypass the tram with their ladder?
No, I had to give them a key to the tram.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But then as I started getting building, there was a new fire marshal.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you had to get him on board.
The whole thing. And he's like, what the heck are you doing in my fire district? And I'm like, this is approved. He's like, but I didn't approve it. So I had to go through the whole process again. By that time, I had the tram running, and I brought him up. He sent out his technical rescue crew to see how fast they could get here if there was a power outage or something.
Mm-hmm.
It took them 4 minutes to climb up my ladder system.
Okay.
He's like, that's okay. By the end of the build, they loved it.
That is awesome. I can't believe that they got up here via the ladders almost as fast as you get up here from the tram ride.
Yeah. Well, the guy was actually
I'm
that's
surprised
his
he
job.
got these permits approved.
Like he goes and rescues people like the mountains all the time. Yeah. Views, again, in every direction.
Great to take a shower with an awesome view. This leads out to the lower patio.
This is interesting how it drops down here, but this is what creates that kind of facade that you get when you're driving up.
And this is a great area in the summertime when you want to get out of the heat. And then this leads out. And now you can see sort of the foundation.
Wow, yep.
And we tested the rock. And the rock strength is about 9,000 PSI, tensile strength. Concrete is about 4,000 square feet. So roughly twice as strong as concrete.
Yeah, I mean, these rocks have been here how many thousands of years?
No, millions of years,
Millions of
hundreds
years.
of millions of years.
Yeah.
And they're super dense.
Yeah.
That's why they're so tall and still here after millions of years.
That's pretty crazy to think that it's just these rocks that are holding the house up, really.
Yeah, but they're solid rock.
Yeah.
They are not going anywhere in a hurry.
This is fun.
This tree was here.
Do you do any climbing?
I had to.
What? Oh, yeah.
I actually hired a real professional mountaineer to help train me.
Really?
Because I didn't know the ins and outs, and I could do rappelling, but I had to work here for a couple weeks with, hammer drills and stuff, and be tied off and safe. And
So you had this mountaineer come out and train you on site how to be a mountaineer.
Yeah.
Crash course.
Exactly. Basically, crash course. So we were hanging on ropes together, and
That's
we were
crazy.
working together.
He probably got a kick out of that.
He did. I think all people have dreams, and all people have dreams that they weren't able to fulfill. And I was lucky enough to have a dream that I really believed in, and I'm a hard worker, and I kept pushing and didn't give up. And I'm luckier than most people that I was able to pull it off. But I strongly encourage people to dream big, and whatever it is, go for it and make it happen. Don't rely on anybody else to make it happen. I'm able to do a lot of things through all the work I've done to get here. Somebody else to do what I wanted to do on the rope. Done.
Any more climbing after this build here?
I live up here.
Freely on the mountains?
It's fun.
That shit dangerous.
And you get used to it.
Yeah.
That shit is up high. That is up high. And it didn't look easy to take that crane. This nigga had to. He gotta pull the wire down to get it. Oh no, that shit don't. I don't know how they approved that shit, boy. He must have slid them some money on the side or something. That was a good one though, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's talk about some shit.